This is America under Prohibition. The moment the Shibbarth Amendment wiped alcohol off every table in the country, it also shredded the way Americans ate. Fine restaurants shut down. Bars moved underground. Millionaires and mobsters sat side by side eating caviar, while 200 miles away in Appalachia, a moonshiner's wife was baking cornbread with pork cracklings to feed 6 children. Number R. Steak dinner at the Last Supper. A state penitentiary. Death row. A man is sitting in the electric chair tomorrow morning. He's been asked to question one of the oldest rituals in the American justice system. What do you want for your last meal? He says, steak. A pea-bone arrives, seared to rare, charred black on the outside, crimson within. A heap of baked potato, a pat of butter, maybe a coffee, maybe a cigarette. During Prohibition, plenty of men were sentenced to death for crimes born from the Volstead Act and the violence it generated: smuggling, robbery, murder. The criminalization of alcohol created an entire food chain of crime, from street corner dealers to urban empires. When someone at the end of that chain was caught, tried, and convicted, their last meal was almost always steak. Why? Because steak was the thing a poor man might eat only a handful of times in his life. Because it represented not flavor, but normalcy, a regular person's idea of a good meal. Because on your last night, you wanted to pretend you were someone who never went down this road, someone who'd wake up tomorrow, put on a suit, and go to work. Most of that steak went unfinished. Most men had no appetite on their final night. That was the most famous uneaten meal in American history, repeated over and over again. Number E. Sunday gravy and the family table. Sunday. 8 in the morning. An Italian-American kitchen. A massive pot is already on the stove. Inside, Sunday gravy. It isn't gravy, though they call it that. It's a sauce made with whole cuts of meat. Pork ribs, Italian sausage, beef meatballs, sometimes pork skin rolls, simmered with tomatoes for 4 to 6 hours. The sauce begins bubbling at dawn. The entire building can smell it. Garlic hitting olive oil sends the first shockwave through the walls at 8:30. Then the sweet acidity of tomato, the slow release of pork fat, basil forced open by heat. Layer by layer, it seeps into hallways, staircases, and finally onto the street. By noon, the family starts returning. From church, from friends' houses, from wherever they were last night. Nobody needs to be called. They can smell it. The table is pulled out. Not enough chairs, crates fill in, plates that don't match, some chipped. A huge bowl of pasta hits the table, steaming. Then the gravy, ladled on top. Then parmesan, broken by hand and scattered. Everyone sits, everyone eats. During Prohibition, this meal meant something beyond food. The moment that door closed behind you, you were safe. Federal agents didn't raid an Italian family's kitchen on a Sunday. Not because the law said so. Because of something older than law, a rule even the mob respected. Sunday was for family. The Sunday table was sacred. At that table, it didn't matter who you were. Smuggler, butcher, tailor. The enforcer who survived 2 assassination attempts. The unemployed man who got a bowl of chili from a soup kitchen yesterday. At that table, you were only someone's son, someone's uncle, someone's cousin. Sunday gravy wasn't a dish. It was a sanctuary, a space Prohibition couldn't reach. When the country was collapsing around you, the law hunting you, the economy crushing you, the government poisoning your drinks, that pot of sauce and that bowl of pasta said one thing: you still had somewhere to come back to. That wasn't food. That was the church Italian Americans built inside a country trying to destroy them. No priest, just a mother, no prayer. Just the sound of gravy simmering on the stove.